how did you develop a relationship both as brothers and as twins to get started?
Well, I mean, I think we really got lucky with this casting. I mean, Ben obviously knew what he was doing, our director. Uh, Jaeden is in real life a few years older than me. So in real life, he's almost like this big brother person. He's someone I've always looked up to as a younger actor, as I was growing up. What?
I'm a bad influence.
No, yeah, but I grew up watching him, and he was always that person who was a few years older that I really admired the work that he did, at all ages. So I knew when he was cast, and when I found out that I was gonna get to go play his brother, that it was gonna be a really great experience, and I was gonna learn a lot doing it. So I had that trust in the person who was gonna be I was gonna have most of my scenes with, but it just helped that he was a great person. His mom's amazing, his girlfriend's amazing, and we were living together in Ireland for nearly 2 months, isolated, kind of just us in this one resort in the woods in Ireland. So I learned a lot on set, and then got to go back home and just hang out with a guy who ended up being one of my closest friends. So I'm really grateful for it.
I'll meet you right here before the sun sets behind that hill.
It was good to see you.
You're late! Sorry, I lost track of time.
Are we safe?
Yes.
Are we secure?
Yes.
You both are running a lot, right?
Yeah,
Around the block.
yeah.
Did you have to train for that, or how many times did you have to do takes over again and run all over the place?
Yeah, I mean, the first day was a fun first day. And we were in the middle. Our first day, it was a complete rainstorm, and more than even the Irish crew had ever dealt with it. It was raining that bad, and we were filming in the woods, and it's just all the stuff of me running through the woods. So much running. That was a workout and a half. But I ran cross country at Lane Tech. And I was pretty decent, but I had stopped running for the most part. And what I did was when I read the script and saw how much running I had to do, I started training again, for sure. Less so to be in good enough shape, because I try and stay in good shape. I'm a pretty active person generally, but more so just because there's a lot of elements to running that tie into Thomas's personality and who he is. His whole deal is wanting to grow up and stretch his arms and have this freedom in a world that doesn't let him grow up in the way that he wants to grow up. And running is this ritual for him. So I started running both to physically get into the character's mind and to really get into good enough shape to do it.
Let's talk a little bit about the horror aspect of this movie. On set, what did you see when you were encountering the monsters on set? What did you see on set, and how did you learn to react to these monsters?
Yeah. Well, we choreographed a lot of the fights when we're taking the monsters on, and that's a stunt team in mocap suit, which and they're really like they figured out the physicality of the creature in terms of like the way it backs up and that. So that was really helpful. And then we had some practical effects. For example, they built this arm that our VFX guy Zach was wearing, with like one of the nails that extended. So yeah, a lot of it was practical. Also when I'm doing the autopsy on the creature itself, all that was real. His guts were real. But yeah, most of it was effects, and we hadn't really an idea of what it was going to look like until we saw the movie.
What are they doing?
What was your first reaction when you saw the finished product and saw yourselves scared out of your wits with that?
I was really pleased with how it turned out. I mean, it's less so, terrifying to look at. It's really uncomfortable. Like it really, it's unpleasant to look at it, and especially to hear it. That's what I was really excited about, was the sounds that this thing made. Yes, it's like clapping thing with its mouth, but that was written, and we kind of knew it did something like that already. But I didn't know how cracky its bones would be, and to give it that kind of shape sonically, made it grounded it a lot more in reality. It made it feel like this real life evolutionary thing, which is what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to come from the earth.
Of course. And before we run out of time, we do have to talk about, the elephant in the room, of course, is working with Nicolas Cage. So tell us a little bit about what on set with Nicolas was like, and did he take you under his wing?
Yeah, man, it was such a pleasure. He was very collaborative with us, and he always was he was curious to hear our insight, which felt great. And it felt very of course I'm intimidated being in the room with such a great actor, but he was he made it kind of set this tone that we're equals, and he didn't have to do that. And it's something I'll never forget.
Yeah, he really was a great person to work with. Always bringing in personal elements too. Really making the scenes feel comfortable to how we were to our family dynamic that we were creating. He is this person with a giant body of work and so much experience, and when you have that knowledge of a set in a film, you can go in and I guess you don't know how much to expect a scene partner of that caliber to give, but he gave 110% every single time, and I'll always be grateful for that. He attacked every scene with a series of questions and curiosity that was unmatched, and it really, it taught me to ask questions I never would have thought to ask before. So,
well, guys, thank you very much.
So much.
Much good luck to you, and we'll see you, on Western Avenue, and
Happy
I'll see you around Chicago. I'll see you at Potbellies.
Yes,
There you go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Pleasure.